Yo, 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 what's up, guys? Alright, trying something out today, putting some lo-fi music in. Let me know if you can hear the lo-fi. Alright, so obviously a pretty strong move this morning. I expected this. Everybody was trying to position short after last week's situation, but I think what's going to happen now is we're maybe going to get a tap into the secondary set of equal highs. Whoops. So we just passed into that third standard deviation of this whole range. So I think the fourth is possible today. I am going to label that on the charts. Okay, so let's label that. I'm going to make it a blue dotted line. Alright, so I think what's probably going to happen here, guys, gun to my head, is that we're going to have another manipulation leg into that fourth standard deviation. I don't know if we quite get to that secondary set of equal highs today. So we bounced perfectly from that new week opening gap again. I don't know what happens here. I think, again, gun to my head, is we're going to hit that fourth standard deviation. So I'm going to be super patient here and see what happens after the equal highs get swept again. And then I want to see this fourth standard deviation. And then from here, I'll potentially look for shorts. What's up, Kay? Good morning, brother. Any trades today, Kay? Are you working? Any trades today, Kay? Are you working? Why is it repeating? Hello, hello, hello. Still working today? Good, no trades today. It's a no news Monday, like we all should know. And just absolutely not A+ positioning, but I still do think there will be a decent short setup today. We'll see if we get it. I want to see the 4 standard deviation of the Asia range get touched. So if you guys look at the Asia range from this morning or from the Sunday session, you can see we're trading between the 3rd and the 4th. So to meet To me, this could be a pretty good spot for reversal. We do have a ton of equal highs sitting below us. So we have a ton of equal lows sitting below us, all down here. So this is going to be hit probably at some point later this week, or even today possibly, if the move is good enough. I found recently that no news Mondays actually get really good movement, and people sit out of the trade. So it's just interesting to see that. We do have an inversion play here. Is this A+? Absolutely not. Could it work? Sure. If you guys want to try it, it's not the worst RR in the world, but it's not the best. So you would enter there. Target 1 would be high of day. Target 2 would be that 4 standard deviation. That would be my my guess on what happens here. But again, this is not something I will be taking. Not A+ enough for me. Also, guys, make sure you like the stream. Helps out the algos, obviously. Okay, so a push up above. Again, I think this high is next, and I think that 4 standard deviation is coming. Gun to my head. So this is something I've been looking at. A lot of people are not really paying attention to this, just while NQ is doing its thing, because I think this 4 standard deviation is going to hit. Uber had this massive daily inversion here, and it kind of looks like a Head and Shoulders is forming. I would not mind taking this short. We have, let me look at the weekly chart. We have a weekly volume imbalance below us here at 77, which I think is a potential target. And then if we go back to the daily, we have, I think there's a bunch of unfilled. There's an unfilled gap here at 45. Again, that would put us down 48%, so I'm not going to bank on that happening, but I still think Uber has a pretty decent short setup happening here. At least to target this low right here at 60. So if we can get a short in this imbalance here, then targeting close to this low is a 30% decline. So if I do take this short, I will let you guys know. I do think that's a pretty good setup, personally. So, oh, UNH is up 1%. Wow. All right. So again, we've had a huge push up this morning. This could easily be a consolidation range. Okay, in Discord. Yeah, I'll let you guys know in the Discord if I take that short. So we're trading into that 1 minute imbalance. Again, guys, this is not A+ enough for me to take, but it will probably work. And that 4 standard deviation is the target, and then potentially even that second set of equal highs. What they could easily do today, too, a manipulation move they could do is this. And I will look for this, and this is something I will take if we get it. So if we take the 4 standard deviation, we come really close to this set of equal highs, and then we get an inversion. This is a short that I would take. Really good RR, and once that happens, we can target. I mean, this internal low is pretty obvious, so I like this one. And yeah, that would be a really nice short for me to take. So we'll be patient and wait for that and see if we get it. If we do, this is something A+ in my view. And there's another reason for this, but that is something, I wouldn't say it's private, but it is a Fibonacci of the weekly, let me see here, hold on. Oh, actually, never mind, it's not even. But I still like this setup. Forget what I just said about Fibonacci's because it's not one, but this inversion play, if we get really close to these equal highs, and a lot of traders think they're going to hit, and then they don't, they get really upset, and they start longing, and they keep losing their butt until until everything reverts to the mean. So I really would like to see this setup play out. So I'll keep it drawn on the chart over here. And we'll be really patient and see if we get this. Right now, I will note, guys, there actually is, at the highs here, there is an SMT with ES. So keep that in mind. Again, I'm not a huge fan of these inversions. Like, this SMT is not optimal to me. It looks like this is going to be used to go higher. That's my opinion. But, again, I could be wrong. So in the bullish fair value gap, it looks like it's going to be used to go higher. Again, the first target is this internal high. Second target is the standard deviation. Again, the only trade I will be taking today, it's a no news Monday. I'm not trying to get induced into this chop because what can easily happen here is this. We just had a huge move higher. So how many points was this? Let's check. Oh, whoops. It's drawing shit. From low to high today, that's 187 points, okay? So 187 points on that move, so don't be surprised if we do this. That's what's more likely to happen here than continuation higher. Gun to my head. But again, I don't know what profile is going to play out here. We could get a chop profile. We could get a long inducement profile. I don't know. So I'm waiting to see what we get. If we chop here, so be it. It doesn't matter to me. If we do get a push past that 4 standard deviation and really close to that second set of equal highs, then that would be a good short in my view. So we'll just be extra patient and wait to see what it is. Make sense, y'all? Hope so. Uh-oh. So it looks like this SMT may play out. Maybe not. Again, I'm not interested in taking anything here. This is going to be like, it looks like a chop profile to me. Good, K. Good, 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 good. It's so funny, like, so there's 4 people watching this. I don't know where you guys are, whether you're on X or on YouTube or what, but the more shorts I post, the way better traction I get on videos because I haven't been posting that many shorts recently. It's been, it hasn't been getting as much traction, but that's all right. We'll have to get back on it. So again, we're still holding this 1 minute bullish fair value gap. I want to see that used to be pushed higher, but if it doesn't, then we know we're in probably this chop profile, and it's very likely to be the only thing that moves back and forth. Yeah, it's not good. Not good, Kay. Need to work on boosting the algorithm. Okay, so it looks like we're going to get that chop profile that we talked about, and then once we do get the chop, if we do get some kind of like consolidation, and then a manipulation higher, then that's going to be a really good place to look for a short in my view. So I still like this play. What I expect to see now is, because we've had this huge we've had this huge move in the morning session. I want to see this happen, and then I want to see this, and then that be used to go lower. Hope that makes sense. So now I have an idea of what this profile is likely to be. Distribution, accumulation, manipulation, distribution. That's my idea for today. Yeah, please do, Kay. That would be great. I'd love some. Yeah, it's just really honestly me needing to create more content. But if you have other suggestions, for sure, let me know. Okay, so again, we're just going to be patient here. I expect that consolidation profile, and then, yeah. We do have that, we're still holding that 1 minute SMT, but I would love to see this 4 standard deviation hit before looking for a short. That's my 2 cents here. Okay, I just want to take a look at the rest of the market quick while we're chopping. VFCs up 7% on the day. IonQ up 4%. Hood Oracle up. Tesla up. Let's see, what's Tesla at? 308. What are the worst performers? Probably the VIX. Yeah, VIX is down. Boeing, interesting. Boeing is another one that I would potentially re-add. We'll have to really get something A+ on Boeing, but I do like this for the long term. Amazon is down still. Amazon, guys, is one I'm going to be adding heavily pretty soon. We are down almost 10% from the lows. If we can get down to 15% or even 20%, really I'd love to get that 16% move. So we have this daily gap here that needs to be filled, or it doesn't need to be, but could be filled. If we can get down to this low at 197, I think that'll be a good spot to add for the long term. Weekly, monthly. Yeah, we do have a small chance. So this is the lows that happened in October of 2022. Actually in Amazon's case, it was December of 2022. Interesting. Where were we at in October? Okay, so we were close to the lows, but there is a very small chance that Amazon does dump into this weekly gap. So if we do get a 35% dump from here somehow at some point, this is a beautiful spot to be adding Amazon for the long term. So keep this in mind. But really what I'm looking for here is this weekly gap and this daily gap. They're the same thing, just on different time frames. I'd like to see Amazon hit this 194 level, and that's a good spot to add for the long term, in my view. Okay, there's a jump up through all stuff. This is just that ridiculous chop profile that I was talking about. So again, I'm looking for, we got distribution. We had a 187 point range this morning. I'm looking for accumulation, manipulation, and then a potential distribution down. So I want to see this blue level get hit. What is that? Again, it is the hourly, it's just on the hourly chart here, but it's the same on all time frames. The 4th standard deviation of the Asia range. I'd like to see that get touched. I'd like to see us come close to the second set of equal highs and then get a dump. So that's what I'm looking for. Accumulation, manipulation, close to these equal highs, and then an inversion gap to take us lower. That would be amazing today. Phew. So again, this is the time where you wait patiently. This, in my opinion, is like that time distortion thing that that ICT talks about. This to me just looks like time distortion. So you're probably going to see consolidation until the 1050 macro, and then you'll see a move higher, and then I'd like to see that move lower. So if we do go down first, then I will be more cautious and maybe even look for a long to target that second set of equal highs. But I'd rather just see it kind of consolidate and then a manipulation move higher and then the inversion play that I'd be looking for. So again, this is where everybody loses their ass time and time again. They see this big move higher and they want to catch continuation, so they keep trying to long. If you ever see the market just randomly pump at open without any drawdown, like barely any pullbacks, and then you start seeing the market stall like this, don't try and long these bullish green candles, because what happens oftentimes is it's inducement and then they just bring it back down and you lose your ass through paper cuts. So the market just goes up and down in small periods like this. It's called chop or consolidation, but it often happens after big pumps higher. So this is the spot, unless you really know the candlesticks and you know like this specific day is probably going to continue higher and you have clean inversions. If you don't see that, this is oftentimes just going to be chop, and this is where you lose your butt. So just be careful. Don't be longing after a huge range higher. This is how you lose your accounts. Death by 1,000 paper cuts. Type 1 if that makes sense. So I know I'm not talking to the walls. If I can help one person here with that with that speech that I just did about consolidation, then that's all that's all that I need. So we have this 1 minute BPR2 here as well. Again, not something I'm trusting. I think this is all kind of going to just consolidate and manipulate. But yeah. So we technically do have a 1 minute inversion here, but again, am I taking this? Let's see who knows the answer. Type 1 if you think this is a good inversion to the upside. Type 2 if you think it's bad. Guys, make sure you interact if you can, because otherwise you're not going to learn. So for those of you guys who are listening still, again, this is a 1 minute inversion. Is this an A+ setup to take to the upside? Hell no. No way in hell would I take this. But could it work? Sure. Do I care? No. What I'm looking for is that accumulation and manipulation leg and then a distribution leg. I want everybody here to get stopped around in the chop. Some of them are going to get lucky. If this inversion works, they might get lucky and catch a few points. But at the end of the day, the real move, I think, will happen after this high gets swept, the forced standard deviation gets touched, and then we come close to this second set of equal highs and then dump. That's my opinion. So we'll see if I'm correct. Again, if you want to try this with very small size and keep your stops super tight, I mean, you can try this, target that forced standard deviation and that second set of equal highs. Not something that I'm going to be taking personally, but it could work. But again, not trying to take inversions after. The worst thing you can do, guys, if you want to be profitable long term, is trying to take an inversion here after a huge move. Again, we have a huge range and it's straight up. Most likely we get consolidation and every 1 minute inversion to the upside and the downside fails. Sometimes they work. You might be the lucky one to get the one inversion of all the little inversions here that do play out. If you do, great, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to lose your ass on these positions. So you might get lucky one day, but the next day that this happens, if the profile is really, truly choppy, you're going to get destroyed. Like the next, if you're lucky, this is going to work to the upside. If you're not lucky, then it's going to close back below and you're going to get stopped out. And then you're going to go on tilt because you want to make back the little loss that you took. You're going to get caught up in chop again. You're going to lose the next trade. Next thing you know, you have 3 losing trades in a row and boom. That's how you blow an account. Because then all of your technique goes out the window and you're just playing to gamble. That's the way that I used to get destroyed. Like, I literally can see the times when I used to get caught in nastiness, and this is one of those times. Again, like, 1 in 10 trading, 1 of 10, if this happens in the morning session where we just randomly pump, 1 out of 10 of these times that this happens, we're going to end up getting clean delivery and continuation. But 9 out of 10 times, this ends up stopping you out and you get smoked. Could this be that 1 out of 10 times? Sure. Am I trying to get caught up in it? No. So you have to learn not to just to stop taking random stuff. So I prefer to be patient, wait for the move if it does happen, and then look for a short. Let's take a look at the 4-hour quick. This does look pretty bullish on the 4-hour, but I know that it's not actually bullish. In my view, what's probably going to happen here, again, I think that this level is where we're actually going to potentially get a reversal. And we have so many lows resting down here. Not down here, actually. Wait, down here? Right down here, we have a ton of equal lows. We have equal lows down here. Sorry, you're looking at my cursor here. So down here we have equal lows. Down here we have equal lows. So I hope this works for you guys that are in this long, but I'm not interested in being a part of this. Whew. So if you're in this 1 minute inversion, really I would keep a hard stop right here. Don't let the trade go against you more. Again, I mean, could this chop again and then go higher afterwards? Sure. But again, this is not something I want to be a part of, even if this works. I'm just pointing it out on the screen so you guys can see it. Do, 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 do. So a lot of people in this 1 minute inversion are probably sweating now. They're like, no, 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 please don't stop me out. Please don't stop me out. I just can't get over how many new traders are getting, not can't get over, but it's so interesting how many traders will end up getting destroyed in this. And it's amazing how there's specific traders who can call it before it happens. If you have enough experience in the market and enough screen time, you will know when this type of profile is likely to hit. Again, I told you 9 out of 10 times, you're often going to get destroyed in this chop. 1 out of 10, it might continue. Do you want to be executing on a trade when the odds of it working for you are 1 in 10? Hell no. So even if it works, that's why I don't get FOMO, because I know this profile and I know that it really works 10% of the time. 90% of the time, we chop. So I'm really focusing right now on this wick. Whoops. So I think this may hold. Again, I don't know for sure, but I think this wick is likely to hold here. I hate the stupid magnet tool sometimes. And then maybe, again, maybe this is what we need to finally go up here, and then I'm looking for this to get swept. So eventually I'm looking for a short setup. I want to see the market go higher here, and then I want to see an inversion on the 1 minute. Then I'll target this little wick down here. But until I get a manipulation move higher, I'm not going to be looking for this short. If it ends up going now without me, so be it. There's nothing I can do about that. But my ultimate goal, again, it's a no news Monday. Why do you want to trade? Why would you trade with your cash accounts or with an account that's important to you on a no news Monday when it's suboptimal? This is suboptimal price action. It's chop. I want to see the manipulation and then the inversion. That's the only play I'm going to take with the equal highs. By the way, if you guys are new to the stream, my algorithm's cooked because I'm not posting enough shorts, but let me know who you are, what you trade. Are you trading futures, stocks? Are you new to trading? Are you experienced? I'm curious to know. Okay, so I think if the market's going to go long here, it's going to happen right before this low gets swept. So, like right now, if we don't, whoops, trend line. So if you really want to take a super, super risky trade, you can long right now with your stop right there and wait for that to drive the market higher. Again, it's very risky. I would not suggest it, but you can try it if you really want to. So you see how we missed it by a tick? Pretty much, that's the lowest you want it to go. So you don't want to see the market go lower than this, and you want to see it reverse from here. Again, the odds of it working are slim to none, but it's possible. Okay, so the low got swept. So obviously, again, this is nothing that I would take. I would never take this wick, but I'm just saying there was a very small chance that this low was not going to get swept and we go higher here. But again, my objective is that 4 standard deviation if we can get it. We still do have an SMT with ES. You can see, well, I'll even pull up ES on the chart here for you guys. ES1. Okay, you can see the SMT. So ES is making a higher high here. I'll label it as an SMT for you guys. NQ making a lower high. So this is an SMT. Is this an SMT I trust? Not really. I don't love it, I'll be honest, but just because we didn't take out any major liquidity. We did take out one set of equal highs, but if you look at what we took out, it's not really anything important. I'd rather see an SMT above this internal high here. You could try this. If this 3-minute inversion works out, then this could be a nice long. I like this inversion a lot more than I like the other one. Just letting you guys know here. So I'd love to see the market manipulate up into this fair value gap right here. Okay, there it is. And now maybe we get the short. But again, I'm looking for long still. I want to see this 4 standard deviation get hit and these equal highs. So what do you guys think? Should we try this 3-minute long if we get it? Nope. We did sweep some liquidity, which I like. So this now is much better of a short than much better of a long than when we were consolidating like this. So keep that in mind. But still nothing that I would take. Candle closes at 51. Yeah, at 51. So if this is going to work, you're probably not going to get an entry, but this is a pretty decent looking inversion. Again, this is much better than the consolidation we just had. The reason being is because we swept liquidity now. So if we do get this 3-minute inversion, you can try it. Again, I'm not going to take it. It's not optimal, but my target here now is this 4 standard deviation and then the equal highs above. And if we do get the short, so if we miraculously do get the market to come up to the, like, very close to these equal highs, and then we get a 1 minute inversion, this is a short that I would try. So I'm looking for this, come super close, get a fair value gap / inversion here, and then downside. Yeah, I'm not saying it's looking good for shorts right now, okay? I'm saying that if this 3 minute inverses and we do get this move, then I'm looking for a short. But yes, I just said that this 3 minute long is possible. It is better because we did get this liquidity sweep, but I don't take longs after we had this massive move higher. Personally. This is not enough liquidity for me to go long. But it could work. If this 3 minute inversion happened down here, like if we got a 3 minute inversion, for example, let's just say this was how the market looked at open, and we got that 3 minute inversion right here, which literally, guys, this happened on Friday. So this is something I took on a personal account. This liquidity got swept, 3 minute inversion, and I targeted this internal buy side. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, but I took off some at the 50% of the range, which was at this new week opening gap high, and then I got stopped out for break even on the runners. But you, like that, okay, so look at that. Not a good sign. But again, this is just suboptimal. This is why I'm not taking this, because this is not a 3 minute inversion that typically works. But it could, it's just not optimal. If it does end up closing above, I mean, you guys can try this. I would take this with a micro, but I would not suggest taking this with any size. Wait for this move. I think this is more optimal. My personal opinion, you can listen to me. You don't have to. I'm just here to explain my thought process. Also, another like 1 minute here. Well, you could try this too, but again, I just don't think it's A+. And if this works, you can target this. Again, the 4 standard deviation is right here, and then the equal highs. Okay, so rejection from that new week opening gap. Very interesting. What I would say here, so if you are looking, let me delete all these lines. If you're looking for a long here, the only place I would consider it would be here. The 50% of this retracement, or close to it. If we come close to the 50% of the leg and then we get a nice inversion to the upside, that's something you can try, but not A+. Again, just not A+. Unless it's really clean. Like, let's say we do this. We come down, come super close to this, then we get a manipulation one more time. That would be a good trade long. And then obviously the IFVG comes somewhere here. We close above it, we retest it, and then we go higher. So, but I want to see this manipulation. You see how we make a low and then we manipulate below that low? That is the A+ setup here. And hopefully it happens at the 50%. This is A+. We're in discount of the range. Manipulation leg from this low, getting swept by this low, inversion fair value gap to target buy side liquidity. Makes sense, y'all? This is the play that you would look for long. Manipulation, right? Low gets swept by another low, creates like a bullish breaker, plus inversion fair value gap equals high probability move higher. Type 1, if that makes sense. And we're in discount. Anything else performing poorly now? Let's look at the Mag 7 quick. Amazon's the only lagger today. Meta up. Meta is crazy. Riot back up to $11 after a dump all the way to 9. Oh no, not 9. 1086. Thank goodness we took some off. So I sold 50% of my position of Riot at 15.20. And I'm holding the rest. Again, everything is at break even now, so if I get stopped out at $9.27, I think, that'll be a break even stop. And yeah. But if this ends up working in my favor, we're going to push through all this LRLR. This will be inversed, and then we'll go higher. So what I'm expecting here, and again, this is not a trade idea, but if we are bullish, what's going to happen here is this is all going to get inversed. This daily gap is going to get filled, and we're going to come right back up. So in the next few days, if we don't see like an 18 or 20% move higher on Riot, then don't be surprised if we dump. But I would love to see that to go back up and sweep all this buy side. Again, all of my buys, all of my the seeds that I planted for this stock, everything I bought was down here in the 6, 7s, 8s, and 9s. So for me, I've already offloaded 50% of my position when this green candle formed on July 21st. If you don't believe me, go on X. I posted it there too, but I posted it in my Discord. And the rest is a stop for break even. So this is now a free trade. If the remaining position works in my favor, it's going to be a huge winner. If it doesn't, I lose nothing. Right? I already offloaded half my position and it's in profit, and the rest is going to get stopped for break even. So it's a free trade. Does that make sense? And I've booked half my profits. With the rest of it, if it runs, we're looking from here. Again, my cost basis is at $9.25, give or take. So somewhere around here. If this runs, I'm looking at 103% to potentially 160% return on my money if we can fill this monthly gap. But again, it's a free trade for me. That doesn't mean that you should be longing this. Okay? Because my cost basis is down here. If we can get down here, you can try another entry when I get stopped out. But that's up to you. I would not. I think this is much lower probability now that some buy side has been swept. Again, I was accumulating down here knowing that we were likely to come up and sweep all of these. And we did miss it, but I still think it will end up going higher eventually. If Bitcoin does truly have a huge run this cycle, you're going to see all the miners push like crazy. Okay, so NQ still doing the same nonsense. We swept liquidity. It looked bullish. Everyone got smoked. If this 1 minute inversion works to the upside, then this will be better, but I'm not counting on it. And again, the only way I'm going to be taking a trade today on a no news Monday is if we do this, we come up, take the 4th standard deviation of the Asia range, we come really close to the set of equal highs, and then get an inversion fair value gap. And then I'm going to target the middle of the range again. So that's my only trade. I already know what I'm looking for, and I'm not going to execute on the screen unless it happens. All right, I'll be right back. Da, 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 da. All right. All right, all right, all right. Has anybody taken a trade today? I will look too. I want to see what I can get as far as premium is concerned for selling puts on Amazon. Let's take a look. Let's take a gander. So if I'm to sell the 200 puts on Amazon, let's see if we can get that. Amazon option chain for August 29th, selling the 200 puts. You can get almost $200 for selling the 200 puts. This is something I might consider doing, guys. For 25 days out, so just under a month. If we get one more big red day on Amazon, maybe to fill this little daily gap, or if we do end up filling it, so I'm going to have my alert set here, I already do, at 209.56, give or take. If we do get here, then this is a place that I'm going to start selling puts on Amazon, because I want to buy this in this daily gap. I want to add to my long-term position on this here. So if we do end up getting a drop further, maybe from here, what is this? Give or take like another % move, then this is a spot to start selling puts with the objective of this low being swept at 197. Okay, so if you want longs here, this is the spot where we want to see the inversion. Again, I'm not taking this, it's not optimal, but if we do inverse this 1 minute fair value gap, you can try this to target that 4 standard deviation. Again, not my trade. I don't like this setup. It's not a plus to me. We have a huge consolidation after a huge range higher. This is not where I take it. But if we do get this, then this is what I'll look for. And I'll take this short when we get here. So I will note there is quite a decent amount of LRLR kind of building here. What you'd probably need to see here is another set of LRLR form and then it go lower to really be LRLR. But again, until something A plus happens, there's nothing you can execute on. There's technically a 1 minute bearish inversion here happening. Would I take this? I mean, first of all, we haven't closed below it. Second of all, it's not A plus. But yeah, we're just going to be patient. This is what I want. This is the thing with streaming, okay? I want to entertain you guys, but the issue is the entertainment is just clicking buttons. And the only way I'm going to click a button today is if this happens. So there's not really much else to talk about. Unless you guys have stuff you want to ask me, if you have charts that you want me to look at, there's nothing else for me to talk about. I hope you realize that. If there was, I would, but there's really nothing else to talk about. The only thing I'll ever even consider executing on is if this happens. Because I've watched the charts for long enough that I know what to look for. If you don't know what to look for, if you don't really have an idea of what you want to play out or what you expect to play out, then everything is exciting because you're like, oh, well, what if this happens? If I click the button here, what happens if we end up going down? But you're clueless. You have no idea what like market structure looks like and what you're looking for. So that's why new traders love trading and why they end up losing their ass, because they click buttons to see what happens. They don't click buttons based on years and years and years of analyzing the charts and seeing what works and what doesn't. They click buttons based on a feeling of excitement and curiosity. That's how you lose money. That's how the market makers get you. When you click the button here, well, I wonder if this 1 minute inversion is going to work to the downside. When there's no merit here. This is not necessarily bearish market structure. Look at the move we've had this morning. Why are you trying to short this if there's not a major liquidity sweep? Look at the hourly chart. Did we sweep any major liquidity? No, we didn't even trade into this little hourly gap. We left this. There's a little hourly fair value gap here. We have equal highs above. We have this internal buy side. Why are you trying to short this? We just tapped into a bullish hourly fair value gap. It makes zero sense. There's no reason to take this short. I don't know how else to explain it to you. But people want to click buttons to see what happens, and they end up getting smoked. Could this work? Sure. Is it A+? Not even close. This is like a 5% chance of working. Could this be like short-term bearish market structure to fill the 50% of the hourly, which is right here, which I already have labeled? Sure. And I already said to you guys, if we do get that, if this does work, and we end up getting a dump here, we get a low, an internal low that forms, we sweep that internal low and form another internal low paired with an inverse fair value gap, IFVG. If that happens, that's a good long setup. But I'm not taking this until it happens. I have no idea if it's going to happen. People that pretend that they know exactly where the market's going to go all the time are liars. It's possible, and sometimes I'm a lot more confident on where the market's going to go than others, but right now I'm not that confident. But what I really do want to see, and I've seen happen before, is they induce people short, they sweep all this buy-side liquidity, stop everyone out who's short, then they come really close to, for example, a set of perfect equal highs. There's 3 here. It's like a triple set or something. I have to look back and see on the 1 minute. If this happens, we come really close to it, then I'm looking for a mean reversion. The mean reversion for me is actually right here. So this wick is the mean reversion. So my target would really be here, and then I would leave runners down to example, I would leave runners to the 50% of this leg of price from low to high, wherever the low is. Don't know where I put it. Right here. And it's because of the hourly. Right? Low to high. 50% is right here. So if we do not go down here first, let's say we go up like I'm expecting. Again, that doesn't mean I'm just going to long here randomly because I'm not 100% sure. But if we do get this push higher, we get the inversion right before the equal highs, that's what I'm looking for. Hope that makes sense. And if it doesn't happen, then we don't click buttons. It's that simple. Real trading is boring. Everyone you're watching online who's entertaining you and dancing on the screen like a monkey, you're going to be entertained, but you're probably not going to make money learning from them. But that's up to you to decide. You can listen or you can learn the hard way. Da 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 da. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. I have to Answer a student. All right. So, same thing, consolidation. And again, hopefully this move happens. I'm really hoping it does. But we just have to be patient and wait and see. Who here on X, there's 12 people watching this. Who on X has taken a trade? Who on YouTube has taken a trade? Who has not taken a trade yet? Come on, guys. Don't be shy. Let me know what you did or what you didn't do. The only way, if you guys want to take a low probability long, I would give it like a 60% chance of working if this inversion, if this plays out and we close above this, stop to break even at this high and then target the 4 standard deviation. So you can try this long if you want to try and catch this leg of price. But again, the only trade I'm going to take is this if we get it. Short position, targeting 50% as the second target, and then, hold on, let's make this smaller. And then I would target the mean of the range, or I guess the middle of the range in this case, which is right here. So this is the only trade I'll be taking today, ladies and gentlemen. What boring PA. So I think I'm going to stay on until the 11:50 macro. Wait, maybe? Because I have nothing else to do for the next 2 hours. And if we get something beautiful, I will let you know. Oh, who's in this chat right now, bro? This is so boring. Who's still in here? No, 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 no. Oh, also, if anyone plays chess in this chat, whatever you're on, send me a DM and let's play right now because there's nothing going on here. I'm going to stay on until the 11:50 macro, but until I see an A plus execution, I'm not taking anything. If you're in the community, if I see this, I will call it, obviously, in the live alert section. Not an excuse to take the trade, but it is something you can view and decide yourself if you're going to take. But until then, again, trading is boring. And some of you might be thinking about this inversion here. So you can see that we did come up and we created a pretty strong BPR to the downside. Is this an A plus setup? No. Why is this not A plus? Because we didn't sweep any major liquidity. There was an SMT with ES at the top here, but this is not something I would ever take, especially because we have equal highs above and that fourth standard deviation of the Asia range. So if you're asking about this, is this A plus? Absolutely not. And people that are taking this, I don't think that's smart at all. Yes, right now it's working, but I mean, you should probably be taking profits because we don't know for sure if this is going to dump here, if it's going to completely smoke through this and stop people out. Excuse me. And this is what you can expect on a No News Monday, guys. Look at this. So people who were just ultimately bullish today, you took this inversion, stopped to break even, you got stopped out for break even. You might have taken this inversion, which is not A plus at all, stopped for a loss. Then you might have taken a 1 minute downside trade, stopped for a loss. Then you might have taken a 1 minute upside trade, stopped for break even. Like there's just, this is where you lose your butt. Just be patient, guys, and wait for something that's A+, not chop BS. Okay, Amazon pushing a little further down here. I'd love to see this sweep this. If we do, I think I'm going to start selling puts on Amazon. Like I told you guys already. And I'll alert this in the community when I do. But I'm looking to get Amazon below 200. And if I do sell the 200 puts here, let's say I collect $230 in premium, then I'm going to be, my cost basis on Amazon will be below 200. And again, I'm objectively looking for this weekly gap to fill. So that's where I would love to see accumulation for Amazon to then take out all-time highs. And for those of you guys who don't know, historically, August and September are the most bearish months in the market, and oftentimes we bottom towards the middle or the end of October. So if you're looking for a long-term spot to add to your S&P 500, your NASDAQ positions, whatever tech companies you're looking at or value companies, I would wait until, it doesn't have to happen, but I would wait until mid-October, early mid-end October. If we're at a low in the markets, that's where you want to be accumulating. That's my piece of advice for you guys. All I can say is I am so happy I'm not a part of this garbage. Such garbage BA, bro. If you are watching this chat, please let me know. Have you taken a trade today? Have you not? Let me know who you are. Gets boring talking to walls. And if you did take a trade, you better have an explanation for it. No A+ inversions here whatsoever. Yeah, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to stay on until the 11:50 macro, which is 25 minutes from now, give or take. And I'll stay on until the end of it, and if nothing happens, no trades will be taken, but we'll see. Again, today I'm definitely going to be sizing down if I do take something. It's a no news Monday. Very low probability setups, but I have noticed a lot of no news Mondays over the last few months have actually been pretty decent as far as price movement. So what I'm looking for here, and again, this is not what I'm executing on, but if we do get this 1 minute inversion and it's combined with the 3 minute inversion, which is right here, if we close above the 3 and the 1, this should be a good long to target all this buy side right here, and then the fourth standard deviation of that Asia range. Then, if we do get a manipulation above that fourth standard deviation, I'm looking for a short, and I'm going to target the middle of the range, which right now is this wick right here. So I will look for a short from here, from up here with this IFEG, to target this wick. And that's the only trade I'll be taking. Take me in. There's so much I haven't seen yet. So, if you guys want something, nah, I'm not even going to talk about it. There is a 1 minute inversion here to the upside. Is this a high probability? No. But if you really want to take something, if we close above this, you can try this with a hard stop. I'm not taking it, but I'm just saying that that could be what drives us higher, but it's not A+. So, not for me, but just letting you know that it's there. The reason that this is okay, we've traded. We've traded into this bullish hourly gap, okay? So we technically did sweep some liquidity. We swept liquidity on the 1 minute chart as well. So we swept this low and this low. So technically we've had a decent amount of liquidity sweeps. They're not actually equal lows. I'm just labeling it red. So technically you can try this. But I would take this with a micro, if anything, and then your stop to break even would have to be at this high. I don't think it's A+, but nonetheless, it's something you can try if you want to. And then your objective would be, you would take a partial at the high of this 1 minute bearish BPR. So this high, and then UBK opening gap could be a partial, and then you would target that 4th standard deviation. So technically this is a setup, but it's not A+ enough for me. But that is the entry right there. Stop to break even needs to be at this high. Again, I'm not taking this, but if you want to, you can. And as soon as this high hits, you need to move your stop to break even. If it does hit. But again, I'm not taking this. I'm just telling you guys what could potentially work, but it's not A+ at all. Okay, so almost there. Not quite. So again, this would be the stop to break even on this trade. Again, it's not A+. I'm not taking it. I can't say that enough. But this is technically where you'd move your stop if it does hit. Okay, your stop needs to be to break even there. If you entered on this trade, you should have your stop to break even. If this ends up pumping, great. If it stops you out, so be it. That's the entry right there. Like I said. And there's a stop out for break even. And in fact, you probably got stopped out for a loss there because that candle just moved. Again, just a low probability setup. I'm just letting you guys know that it could possibly work. Okay, I'll be right back. Hold on. All right, looks like it's working. Again, you would have been stopped out for break even there, but nonetheless, it's still pushing up here. If we get this inversion on the 1 and the 3, this should go higher. Did we just create perfect equal highs here? No, we didn't. My goodness. So if you are still long this, I don't know why you would be. Your stop should have been to break even. You're basically praying that this holds. Which it could, but I'm not. It's just such a bad setup, guys. We do have a tiny little 1 minute gap here. So if this somehow holds and then we pump, this would be a more likely scenario, but a more likely continuation higher if we come down and sweep this low by a tick and then go up and inverse this 1 minute. Okay, how about this, guys? I'll try this. If we come down, okay, there's a very strict parameter that needs to happen here. First of all, okay, so there's no 1 minute gap forming here, so never mind. What I was going to say is that if a 1 minute inversion happened here, a good one, which is sizable, which right now this is not anymore, right? This is tiny. If it held and it was bigger, we came down, touched this low by a tick, filled this 1 minute gap by 1 tick perfectly, and then pushed up, I would take a long here, stop to break even at that internal buy side, and then I would hold up to this 1 minute inversion. So this would be about a almost a 5 to 1 RR trade if we got it. Now, unfortunately, we didn't, so I'm not going to take it, but you can still study this and see what happens. But you can see we have that imbalance here that needs to be filled. If we touch into it by a tick and then go higher, you can see if this ends up working, but I would have rather seen this inversion be bigger to take that long setup, which it was not, so. Okay, so completely disrespected it. If the body holds it, maybe it will work, but again, there's just nothing A plus here, guys. This is so bad. Garbage PA. Interesting. So the bodies so far are kind of holding. They are holding, actually. So I'm expecting this little 1 minute gap to get filled. There it is. It's too predictable, bro, but I just can't take these stupid little scalps. See how I said this little 1 minute has to be filled, and then we're probably going to come up and sweep this one? It's too predictable. Again, my objective is not to take these tiny little scalps. My objective is to take A plus moves that go high for a big portion of time, and right now we're not getting that. So this is something I'd like to study. If we do get this 1 minute inversion, it's tiny, but if we do get it, is this going to be what drives us higher to fill this 1 minute gap? My guess is yes. My guess is if this inverses, we're going to go back up to fill this new week opening gap, and then we're going to go up to fill this 1 minute gap. That's my guess. Again, I'm not taking it. It's too small. It's not A+. There's no major liquidity sweep. We're not in a macro time. So could I take it? Hell no. But we're just going to study it and see if it works. I hope this teaches you guys discipline. I can sit on the charts for hours at a time. I don't click a button. And even if a setup I think is going to happen with high probability, or not even high probability, even if I think a setup is going to happen that looks decent, if it's not A+, I don't execute, especially on a known use Monday. do, 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 do. So 1 minute order block potentially forming here, plus a 1 minute inversion tells me we're probably going to go up here. But am I taking this? No. Again, we need to see the 1 minute close above. It's tiny, not A+, but it could still work. It could still work. Doesn't mean it has to. If you don't know by now, you should understand that I am super selective on my trades. I think realistically this is probably going to fill. We have a tiny little imbalance here. Tiny, but I think it will still fill. Right here, you can see from this wick to this wick. But that does not mean I'm executing and taking scalps. It's just dumb. And not quite. We just created perfect equal highs there. Okay, there it is, fully filled. Now let's see if this little tiny 1 minute inversion ends up delivering us higher. Gun to my head, yes, and that we fill this new week opening gap. Okay, so there it is. Again, it's too small. I would never take it, but this probably will come up and fill this new week opening gap now. Gun to my head. Not taking it again. I am not taking this trade. This is really the lowest point you want to see here. You do not want to see it come back. You want to see a trade to the low of this fair value gap or right there and let that run. And if I was in this trade, which I'm not, I would move my stop to break even at this internal buy side right here, hold a runner, hold my first TP into this new week opening gap, and hold a runner up to this 1 minute inversion. Okay, so now you're praying this doesn't get stopped out. So you can see that we did come down and fully fill this 1 minute inversion, and now this should be your stop to break even right there. Boom. Now your stops at break even, and now you hold this to the new week opening gap high, and then runners to the 1 minute gap. Okay, there's your first. Technically, this is a partial if you want. I would hold up to the top of the new week opening gap. And almost there. So again, guys, make sure if you're in this trade, I did not take it. If you did, your stop needs to be at break even here. Needs to be. Hold 1 TP up to this new week opening gap. In fact, you can even partial right now and hold the runner up to this 1 minute inversion high. So partial here is my suggestion, and then hold the runner all the way up to this 1 minute gaps high. We have a big BPR here. Okay, again, partial here, please. Partial here. Move your stop to break even. It needs to be at break even, and hold the runner all the way up to this 1 minute inversion. Hold it up to this high. If you get it, awesome. You're going to get a nicer win. If you don't, you're going to get stopped for break even. So be it. Okay, beautiful move so far. Again, feel free to partial, but the next TP for me is the top of this 1 minute gap. If I was in this, I am not. And almost there. Okay, I would, guys, honestly just partial there. Partial. All right, that's it. So that's the full TP. If you had 3 contracts somehow, you can leave your runner up to sweep all this LRLR, but I would not suggest it. Okay, so I think I'm going to call it there. If we end up getting the move that I'm looking for, which is that 4th standard deviation, I will look for the short somewhere over here. So again, for those of you guys who are not in the community, I'm looking for something like this. And then hopefully we get close to this set of equal highs. We create an IFVG right here, trade into it, and then we take that down to the mean reversion of this range, which is this wick right here. All right, so that's it, guys. I appreciate your time. Thanks again for joining. I will catch you guys in the community. And yeah, catch you guys.